Count in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Mama V here, and we are back for another mukbang. We haven't done a mukbang in about 3 videos, but our little absence, we wanted to bring back a special one. And so today is we are eating tacos. So as LeBron calls it, Taco Tuesday.
We got it at how do you pronounce the place?
Sorry, I don't remember exactly where. Zamorano.
So this place
in
was recommended by my good college friend Rich, aka the Suplex King. And he took us there one time, and then when we decided to do this video, I was like, hey, let me check if they're open. So we got carne asada, chicken, lenguas, and carnitas.
And then the pickled, carrots and jalapenos.
Oh, and horchata.
And so, yes, as I was saying, it's a special video because first and foremost, it is Tuesday, March 31st. So it is Nipsey Hussle's
1 year.
first year death anniversary. And last year when he passed away, he happened to pass away on Baby Daddy's birthday. So Baby Daddy's actually turning the big 3-0. And so, yeah, he's turning big 30 today. So it's happiness, it's sadness, it's moving on. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to see what Lauren has to say for today. And I'm sure it's hard for them and their family. It's crazy. I can't believe it's been a whole year. So we will be eating, and we got a bunch of sauces, as you can see, lined up. We had a little shot of 1942 right before this, just to commemorate everything that's going on. And we'll be sharing like our 5 top favorite songs, our 5 top lyrics / quotes, to just really celebrate his life. And yeah, and it's a way Baby Daddy's also celebrating his birthday, remembering one of his favorite artists. I'm hungry. I just did Insanity.
What did you just throw a carrot in your mouth?
Mm-hmm.
So, which one do you want to try?
I don't know. I'm going to try whatever's in front of me because I'm hungry.
Hungry.
So, we are going to get a couple of mouthfuls in
before we start to.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be messy.
Taco Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I love these things.
The pickled
yes.
Ooh, these are full and messy. Oh, it's a pretty reasonable price. These, I don't know. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. These tortillas look like they're homemade.
I got a lengua.
What is this?
I
don't know what that is. Let me.
That looks like you're eating a chicken one. Does it taste like chicken?
It tastes like some type of beef.
Oh, it's probably carnitas then.
As y'all know too, COVID lockdown. The Bay Area has been locked down since the 2nd week of March.
Looks like it's going to...
Until April 30th is when they extended it. Well, Donald Trump extended for everybody. My job extended working from home until May 4th, right before Cinco de Mayo.
This is good.
I like the radishes. It gives you like a break. We are hungry.
It's been a while since we went out to eat because we've been sheltering in place, so we've been cooking a lot.
We literally only leave the house like once a week, and that's to get like groceries for the week. I usually go, me and my sister usually go hella early Saturday or Sunday to beat the crowd. And it's not like we want to get hella stuff. It's just like we don't want to be contaminated. And it's crazy because we had some face masks and gloves lying around the house. And so it's sold out everywhere. But we have the disposable one, so you're only supposed to use it once. And we've been wearing it, and like people who don't wear it,
Ooh, spicy.
they be looking at us crazy. And I'm like, I'm not trying to get contaminated. But he has really bad asthma, and COVID attacks the respiratory system. The twins were born when I was 7.5 months, and they have really bad lungs. Well, not bad. It could be worse, but you dying over there?
I've been into one of these, thinking it wasn't gonna be that hot.
No, they still got the season there, bro.
Woo!
Oh, it's not that hot. It's that after kick. It kicks you in the throat. Like, it's not like that initial kick. That's good. But it's good. I love spicy stuff. I live off of spice.
Oh man. Woo! Woo!
That's hot. Whew. Had to grab some napkins real quick. Oh yeah, now I feel it on my tongue. Like this big one. Should I bite it?
Bruh.
Then you eat the taco with it. I forgot the lime. Oh yeah, it's better if you eat it with the actual taco.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I was saying, I'll start off with, I think this is like, we've done 1 or 2 Nipsey Hussle. So we did one when he initially passed away. And then we did one when we went to his gallery. And so I'll link the videos down below, but that was like pretty dope. And then this one on his anniversary. So as we said before, Baby Daddy's always been a fan. I knew Nipsey Hussle through Baby Daddy, and then once he wanted to start going to a lot of the memorial stuff, I became like a fan of like not only his music but his like his like work ethic and his lyrics. Like he was very conscious if you actually listen to his lyrics. So with that being said, one of my favorite songs, conscious songs of Nipsey Hussle's Dedication, Victory Lap album with Kendrick Lamar. And he just, like, one of my favorite things is, like, on that he was, like, dedication plus patience is, like, one of my favorite sayings that he has. And another one was, like, can I see your phone? I had put the lyrics specifically on here. But I think it's just, like, a very conscious song of, like, how he came up. And, so he said, look, this ain't entertainment. It's for the N-word on the slave ship. These songs, just the spirituals I swam against the wave with. Ended up on the shore to their amazement. Now hope I set example. I said it's not contagious. Lock us behind gates but can't tame us. And I think, like, that speaks to a lot of things if you're thinking about, like, historically where, like, rap and poetry and a lot of, like, jazz and blues songs come from. It's from the oppression, you know, back in the slavery. So when he's talking about, like, they used to use spirituals as messages to send each other, right? If you're trying to find freedom or to send messages, right? It was, like, in code. So, yeah, it's just interesting that he talks about the spirituals in his songs, right? And the ships and all that. And, like, it just takes it to a deeper level as, like, Kendrick Lamar goes into his rap. So that's my number one. What's your number one?
I'm eating. So my number one is from TMC. It's called The Mansion. And the lyric is, as long as you're willing to bleed for what you're asking, and when you realize it, or when you see it, you seize it with a passion. I really like a lot of Nipsey's motivational lyrics, because those lyrics, like when you hear it, you kind of like get up and you want to, you know, chase after what you're looking for. So that one was off The Mansion. He has a bunch of dope lyrics in that one too. That's my number one. It's kind of an underlying theme. If you, as we go through this, you'll pretty much see that most of my lyrics are those kind of lyrics.
My second one is on the Victory Lap album too. It's called Rap N-I-G-G. You know the rest. And that song is like one, it's just like in your face. Like when I'm driving, when I'm like excited, or like even when I'm mad, or especially at the gym, it's on my like gym playlist. Like it just gets you hyped up, and it's just like it's just like interesting how he like takes the phrase rap N-word, right? And like sometimes people are like, oh, you just a rap N-word, you're nothing more than that, right? Like it could be seen as positive, but he turns it around and take it as a negative, and like he owns it, and like the video is like so dope, and he's like, you know, he talks about Jay-Z in the song, and he talks about Rick Ross, and like you can really see his influences, and it's just like, it's just hella dope, and the video just makes it that much more better. Like, yeah, like, yeah. I just love that song. Like, it's my go-to. But I can't listen to it in the car when the girls are in the car, because a lot of the lyrics are bad words and explicit, but I love it. So yeah, that's my number two. What about you?
My number two is More or Less off the Crenshaw album.
Okay, I see you got a couple of albums out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
This lyric I really like. I ain't had much, but you gotta chase your dream. Wrote it all down in my spot in like 03. So again, another motivational line. And my cousin had told me that Jim Carrey, before he was famous, he had wrote himself a check on a certain date, and then he told himself he was gonna cash that check, and he actually did it. So when I heard this lyric, it's the same thing. Like Nipsey, he wrote it all down in his spot in 03, and then he ain't had much, but he had to chase. You gotta chase your dream.
Mhm. Yeah. My other one, it's like the beat is hella LA. It's hella like gangster rap LA, and it's called Gangsta Life. The one that he did with Snoop Dogg. Like back in 2014, 13, I think. But it's really like the beat. It just reminds me of like Summertime in the LBC, or like his other one, what's that cruising song that Nipsey has?
Summertime
Cutlass.
In that Cutlass.
Yes, that one. So that just reminds me of like, it just screams like LA vibes, like chill vibes. But it's like chill, but it's still hype, right? Like you can still ride to it. So yeah, I like that one. And you got two of the most LA, you know, well-known rappers on there. So that's the other one I like. Y'all should listen to it. It's not one of those mainstream ones. So it's called Gangsta's Life. Gangsta's with the S at the end. Life spelled like life, and it's with Nipsey and Snoop Dogg. It's dope. Try it. Look at it. It's a dope old throwback.
So the next one I got is Mailbox Money. Been here for a while, and the lyric I chose was, before you get this shit, you got to lose it all. Then you find yourself and see that you use a God. So I like this lyric because, oops, I said the S word, but sorry. So before he had everything, he had nothing. And then in that process of having nothing and getting everything, he realized that himself was like the main determining factor of what shapes his destiny. So again, before you get this, you gotta lose it all. Then you find yourself and see that you's a God.
Yep. All right. My other one is Ocean Views.
Ocean Views.
Yep. That one is like, that's one of my favorites, is because it's not as conscious as his other ones, at least in my opinion. But like, the root of it to me, he's like, everything I wrote down and everything I envisioned, one of his biggest quotes is what happened, right? And it's like ocean views, like that's what he envisioned, he lived it, he breathed it, he spoke it into existence out in the world, and that's what he focused on. And I feel like that Ocean View song was like the beginning of like this heightened career he was about to have. And it's just a beautiful video too. Yeah, Ocean Views is like a super dope song. Yeah, it was like he spoke it into existence, and I've lived and believed that after like seeing Nipsey's life and his testimony, along with a lot of other folks. But yeah, so you are on to your fourth one too.
Yeah, my fourth one is,
I'm saving the best for last, or at least my best song for last.
Blue Laces 2 off Victory Lap. I have a video of me playing this with the girls when they're like,
I'm dying now. All I know is keep you calm and collected. Cracking jokes like, nigga, now you gonna be finally respected.
When his Victory Lap album came out, that's when the girls were born, and they were touring at that time. And so they were playing it. He was playing it in his car, and the babies, you just see them in their little car seats, you know, they're facing the back, and he's just jamming to it. And it's funny because it reminded us February. So 2 months ago, like Snapchat, like, oh, reminder from like 2-3 years ago. So it reminded us, and we're like, oh, that's bittersweet. Yeah.
And that in that video, yeah. So from Blue Laces 2, anything I want, everything I needed, gotta pace yourself. It's all about your breathing. So
you stole mine. That was literally the one that I wrote down. Like that whole second verse.
Yeah,
like that's,
whoa, that whole second verse.
I love Blue Laces too. Like, so I've listened to Blue Laces, right? It's crazy. So if y'all know, he has a Blue Lace. It's not called Blue Lace 1, but it's Blue Laces,
Blue
right?
Laces.
And then he has, and that was on his mixtape back in the day. Now he has Blue Laces 2. But if you listen to those two songs back to back, it's crazy because it's a timeline of his career and his life. And I mean, Blue Laces 2 does a little like flashback, but it's just like crazy because if y'all seen the clip, I think he put it on his Instagram. If y'all seen the clip when him and P. Diddy are producing Blue Laces 2, and he tells P. Diddy like, just make that song cry. Like, I want that song to cry. And like, you're like, when you just look at that video, you're like not sure, but when you hear the song, like that song cries. Like, it cries pain, it cries like hard work, it cries like perseverance. Like, I love that song so much. And like, especially when I'm in my feelings, like that's one of my favorite songs to play, because it's like, in a way, it's like through tragedy comes beauty, right? Yeah, and that was one of my lyrics. It was like, pace yourself, it's all about your breathing.
It's all about your breathing.
That's all of what running a marathon is about. Like, literally, like when you running, you have to practice your breathing, because when you run and you lose that energy, you tend to breathe from your chest. It's like, but that's not gonna help you keep on running. Like, you gotta belly breathe, you gotta take those deep breaths to find a little bit of energy. You have to keep on running a marathon. So like, it's just so symbolic. And like, if y'all haven't heard Blue Laces 2, y'all need to like get in your car, cruise, and listen to it. Like, but maybe not right now because it's a pandemic, but you know.
I mean, the lyric itself, right? Like, sometimes when I get ahead of myself and like things that I want to accomplish, I just remind myself that, you know, it's a process. It takes time, you know, take a breath, and then realize that each step forward is another step towards it.
Yep.
So
that's real.
And I also like his third verse. It's very like, you could imagine his whole all his lyrics, because it's kind of like he spits a scenario of what happened, and like if you
back in Long Beach.
Yeah, if you can visualize it, like
can. He's so descriptive.
Yeah, and then there's this one part where they're like going back and forth, like, okay, this is an alibi. You know what? Forget the alibi. I'm gonna just drop you in the back and slide.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
like I'll keep your cash.
Yeah.
No, he's like, here's your cash, but the marijuana is mine.
Yeah, I'll keep it at the spot till you back online. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was that initially drew me to the song, and then I continued to listen to it, and then I found each and every other lyric that he would spit, and then it was just like, wow, I really like this song.
Yeah, and the bass beat is still the same as Blue Laces, right? They add the crying, like the song, the singing, but like it's still the same bass beat. So I think that was like freaking genius. Like to like see his career in music, like that's a visionary right there. Like that's crazy to think that you did that years ahead. Now to do this to build off of it, like that's a true visionary right there. And I think like it's like a lot of I actually been wanting to do YouTube. I've been wanting to do like my side hustles for a while. And I've been telling him like I don't want to work a 9-to-5 for the rest of my life. Like we got kids that are gonna grow up, and what are we gonna be doing? Spending more time at work than with our kids, or like not having the freedom to be with them, right? Or like being scared, like, oh, I gotta do this at work. But missing out so much on like their daily activities, because you work a 9-to-5 and like by that they already like finish eating dinner or like finish practicing for their sports or musical stuff, and so
and then you realize you wake up and then they're already in college.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of you miss all those little steps.
Yeah, so I was telling him, I'm like, that really made me want to do a lot of my side hustles, because I'm like, one of my favorite Nipsey quote was like, the first thing you got to do is get rid of that self-doubt, because if you doubting yourself, it's never going to work out.
Right.
And like that spoke true, because like I was like, what about people don't like it? What about people don't watch my videos or stuff like that? Like we just wanted to connect with other folks, and like and it was like I mean I'm not hella big, but like people are still out there for the content, and I'm like that's literally, if I never started, then you would never know. Like, I would never know, right? Like, I did give myself a fighting chance. And then with the other side hustles, like creating these line of t-shirts for like Polynesian or Melanesian or Micronesian or women in color in general, like these powerful t-shirts. And I really didn't start that until like I read all that Nipsey stuff. And it's just like, it's just crazy. Like, he's like, the biggest thing that you can do is inspire somebody. And that's literally what happened. Like, I wasn't a big fan while he was, still alive, but like hearing everything else that he did and being able to reflect on that, like I became a really big fan, because the hustle is real. Like, his hustle ethic, his work ethic is so strong. But yeah, I was over here jumping, and go ahead. Over here,
was that your last?
That was, yeah. You didn't share your last song. That was my last.
So which is kind of cool that she kind of went into it.
Segue?
So my fifth favorite song is Stuck in the Grind, and then this lyric is, elevate my game for the 100th time, you can hold me down through these troubled times. So that really spoke words to me, because then like as you grow in life, you're at one level and then the next level, and then he says he's elevating his game for the 100th time. So like, he's bringing it up a notch, and then that tells me, like, what I'm doing now is good, but what I could do could be great. Mm-hmm. So I just want to keep moving, keep it going, and hold you down through these troubled times. It's like, times where you get steps back, someone's there to hold you down and then pick you up, then you go back up that ladder.
And that's like one of my favorite things is like one of his two quotes is like, if you look in your circle and nobody inspires you, that's not a circle, you in a cage. And that's like hella true. Like you saying, like, you need people to elevate you, to encourage you, right?
Right.
Like, you don't need people to like work for you or anything like that. But if you have people like who are also trying to reach their full potential, like, it's gonna push you. But if you in a stagnant group, you just gonna stay stagnant because you like, oh, well, I'm gonna just do a little better to be better than like the folks around me. But you're not gonna push yourself, So like, that speaks truth. Like, always be around folks who inspire you, who bring that positivity, right? Like,
Right, 'cause
negativity comes in your
negativity-
life is because you got negative people around you.
Yeah, you don't need that. You know, you gotta stay positive all the time. If someone tells you something negative, there's something wrong with how they feel about themselves.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to be like Nipsey and being like an entrepreneur, or be like your own person and not work for anybody. You need positivity, right? Now that's different from, you also need people who like give you criticism, constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism.
Not like, oh, you ain't gonna make it. That's not constructive criticism. Like, oh,
No.
maybe you should change a little bit this in your beat or your song or like in your craft. And then the other one that reminds me of one of his other favorite quotes is, your biggest enemy is idle time. And that relates to, it's like a story in the Bible where it's like the same thing where like idle time, you know, that's when evil happens, or like negativity can happen. It's during idle time. So idle means it's like you're in a waiting room. You're just chilling, not doing anything, right? So what that spoke to me was like, one, I feel like that relates to like biblical stuff, and the other one is like, I always tell baby daddy always gets mad at me because I'm like, I'm on a go. I'm like, what
She's
we
on
doing
the
next?
Go,
I'm like,
go.
what are we doing? And I'm like,
go.
and it's not even just about like ambition. I'm like, okay, we at home from work, okay, we can chill with the girls or whatever, but when they go to sleep, I'm like, what can we do? Like, oh, are we filming a YouTube video? Like, can you look at these shirts and these designs I'm making? Or like, hey, let's wash the dishes, like let's get this done so we gotta do it later. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's your goals? Like, what are you doing to work towards your goals? Like, are you doing this? Are you doing... Nah, you can't take... You can't jump at the top of the stairs and reach your goal. You gotta take steps to get there.
Yep.
Like, I'm like, all right, let's get that budget in. Are we on track for this year? Are we in goals? Like, where's the bills at? Like, that's exactly how life is with me. Like, and I believe...
Sometimes I'm like, whoo.
Yeah, sometimes that's why we get into arguments.
You gotta pace yourself. It's
Yeah.
all about your breathing.
I'm breathing in between every single demand, but like, I know I annoy him, but like, I'm like, life is so short. Like,
yeah, it's all for the better. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's a necessity. You know, if you're not gonna hear it, then you know, out of sight, out of mind.
yeah, and to me, I'm like, I don't necessarily fear death. I mean, like, I'm from the Polynesian culture, and we death. I've been to my first funeral when I was like hella young. The girl's been to like 4 funerals in like their 3 years of life.
They learned to walk at one of them.
Yeah, it was crazy. At my grandma's funeral, after the eating of her burial, like, baby daddy like ran up to me. He was like, look, and he put the baby down. I was like, she's gonna fall. She started walking. She started walking on the day that we buried my grandmother. So it was just like so symbolic. But what was I saying before that? I don't necessarily fear death, and like Socrates says, is like, why should you fear the unknown? All of us are alive, so we never know what death is, right? And the one thing I say that is like, I feel like I would only fear death or be disappointed about death if I didn't try my best to reach my full potential by the time of my death. And that's the only thing I fear about death, is not getting to a good, comfortable place. And that's like, you know, having security for like, you know, my kids and all that. Like, what about if I do pass away young, or like before I could like give them retirement money? Like, then what happens, right? So like that's the idle time. I'm like, all this idle time, God has given us all this time. Like, use your time wisely. Like, you know, be creative, be your best self. Like, the world gotta see it. Flaunt it.
Something that you think that you really want to do, just go and do it. Like, it could be anything.
Yep.
You can make paper cups if you really think you can make paper cups.
Make one, you know, make the world a greener place, you know.
Yeah, you know.
I know we got plastic straws, but that was like, yeah, like.
Really?
I mean, yeah, we ain't saving the turtles, the wildlife, but that's like one of the crazy things too. You're like, well, everybody's doing this one thing. You're like, also, if you go to the bread store aisle, you got all this whole aisle of bread, like, but people are buying it, right?
Right.
So you just gotta be authentic. You gotta be yourself. You gotta keep on trying, and you'll eventually, you know, get there. And like another quote of Nipsey Hussle, like, success is about you enjoying. You being able to make a living, enjoying what you do, right? Like, enjoying your job, enjoying whatever your hustle is, and that's real, like, real life. And like, I enjoy my 9 to 5 right now. Like, I definitely do.
Yeah, myself as well. I do love my job.
Yeah, but there's just so much you can offer the world, right? So much else you can offer yourself, and like being able to connect on these like platforms and all that. So yeah, this just reignited my passion.
Look, there she go. It's gonna go now.
I'm like, we gonna take a break for your birthday week because baby daddy's actually so Aries, and my sister and my brother who are twins are actually 2 days after him, so they're both all turned 30. So we do and make do with what we have, and
yeah, because the situation that's going on. Everybody, please stay.
Yes.
Please stay safe.
Let's finish off with one of your favorite 2 Nipsey quotes because I've been over here rambling.
I wrote down everything. It's like a bunch of songs. Summertime in that cut list was one of our original songs that we got into.
We were listening to that song a whole bunch when we first started dating 7 years ago. 6 years ago.
When the Crenshaw tape came out, that's when we started dating.
Yeah, we grew up off, our relationship grew up of Dom Kennedy.
We should do a top 5 Dom Kennedy as well. Cause
his album came out right when we started dating. I remember sitting in your car listening to that. And then Nipsey Hussle, you played that a lot throughout our relationship.
Yeah, a lot.
A whole bunch of LA people. Who's that one?
Sugar Free.
Yeah, he said I didn't know who he was until he started playing it.
we was getting into Sugar Free because my 2 college friends, Suplex King and Davila 11, Gabe Davila, shout out Gabe. Gabe got really into Sugar Free, and then he just started sending us all the songs, and then
always play it.
And I would always play
this. He
has
an interesting voice. So yeah, y'all. The point of this is, one, to say rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, as his 1 year is today. Send out love to positive vibes to his family, his partner in life, London Lauren, his 2 children, everybody his friends that lost him. Stream his songs, keep those royalties coming in for his family, and happy birthday, as baby daddy turns 30 also today, and in 2 days my sister and my brother. And y'all stay safe and healthy out there. Life is too short. Take appropriate risk, not unnecessary risk. Peace and love, y'all.
And love.